So for the last week, we picked up a lot of subscribers, and we've been answering questions day and night. And we appreciate everybody writing in. But we figured we would do this video real quick to because we got like 40 or 50,000 brand new, subscribers and all that. So we figured we'd do this video and kind of answer some of your questions in one shot here, so that we can just move forward, and I can get back to life instead of answering questions, which I don't mind, but that's what it is. So actually, the thing that kicked it off was our first controversy. We did a video last week where we went to go look at a car, a classic car buyer scam, and man, we learned a lot from that. Right? The first thing we learned was that the number of idiots that are attracted to a specific body type is unfathomable. We had to shut the comments off in that video. Why'd you shut the comments off? We had to shut the comments off in that video because everything was crude. We were at 7,000 comments, and we had deleted 1,500 of them, and they were all said the same thing. That ass, that ass, that ass, that ass. Get a grip. Get out of the basement. Go find a woman. Get off of YouTube. Now, that's not to say that we don't like trolls. I love trolls. I eat trolls for breakfast. Troll me. Send it. Let's do it. But, all right, and then the other controversy was with this thing. What part of tag job do you not understand? The car was a 1973 car with a 1971 VIN. It was a tag job. It was illegal. We would have bought the car, but as it clearly stated in the video, if we got it for the right price, it was going to go directly to the Tennessee State Troopers to have a state-issued VIN and title put on it. Secondly, I do not flip cars. That's one of my problems. I can't flip cars. I can't sell these things. Every time I buy one of these freaking things, I fall in love with it. I can't sell it. I'm not a flipper. We did not try to scam the guy. Go back and watch the video again. All right. So with that out of the way, let me take you through some of the things and answer the questions for you. Starting with, why do you smoke? A couple of reasons. The first is that I enjoy it. I like it. Smoking is how I relax. It's my thing. Second, because I have ADD, crazy ADD, borderline on autism. And the combination of caffeine and nicotine has the same effect as Ritalin without any of the negative side effects. I smoke now, I'll smoke till I die. I enjoy it. What kind of cigarettes do I smoke? I roll my own. They're buglers. It's not a joint. People keep saying, he's got a joint in his hand. It's not a joint. I wish it was. Which brings us to the next question. Do you smoke weed? No, I don't. When I was a kid, I smoked bales of this stuff. And I fully encourage you to smoke as much as you want. But because of my ADD, pot has the same effect on me as cocaine does on most people. So it makes me nervous, edgy, I can't focus, it's terrible for me. So that's why I don't smoke. I don't have any problem with it. I also don't do any other drugs. No meth. People are, oh, he's a meth head, he's a tweaker. No, I do no drugs. I even to the point that, I know if I'm hurt, I got broken fingers and toes and legs and arms, and I try to stay away from painkillers. I don't do any drugs. Kids are watching. I'm a bad influence because kids are watching. Have you seen what's on the internet that these kids are watching? I'm like Mr. fucking Rogers. Leave me alone. Okay. Beyond smoking. Where are you from? I'm from Staten Island, New York. I was born in Brooklyn, raised on Staten Island. I lived there from 1970 until 15 years ago, and then we moved down here to the Nashville area. It's the best move I've ever made. Got here, never looked back. And for those of you from the New York City suburbs, what we have here in the Nashville suburbs is pretty much exactly what was going on in the same head and the same vibe as New York City in the 70s. So it's kind of like I'm at home. Let's see. Why did I leave? Why did I leave New York? Because it wasn't the New York I grew up in anymore. It was over. Time to move on. What's your favorite car? I don't have a favorite car. I have many cars. The cars that I enjoy the most are the ones I would probably want to own the least because I don't want the responsibility of caretaking for them. So, I'll just leave that wide open. But, let's see. Why don't you do a story on, and fill in a blank. Why don't I do a thing on this type of car or that type of truck or this type of... We will. As these things come along, we're going to do stories on all sorts of... I'm not limited to just what I do here, but currently, at this stage of the game, as we're growing, I feature what's available to me. There'll be plenty of different stuff as we go along. Okay, so people know that I did magazines. All right, I did, back in the 80s, I did, all right, oof, this is going to take a long time. I was the technical editor for High Performance Pontiac, Vet, Muscle Cars, and then Cars Illustrated. I was a writer for Cars Illustrated. I started High Performance Mopar magazine when I was at CSK in 1986, and I started Mopar Action magazine when I moved across to Harris in 1987. I actually had two magazines on the newsstand at the same time competing with each other. My work has been, I've written for like everybody, Hot Rod, I mean, I just the list goes on and on. My best work, the stuff I was the most proud of, was what I did for Steve Collison at Superstock magazine. It became Drag Racing Illustrated, and I did some work for him in the late 90s. And basically, essentially, we bonded, and when he died, I really lost interest in doing the whole magazine business, so I moved on. Let's see. Do you drink? Okay, I drink, all right, I only drink dark beers. The darker, the heavier, the blacker. No light should pass through my beer. And honestly, I drink maybe a dozen of them a year. I'm not a drinker. I spend my time working. I encourage you to drink, you know, knock yourself out. It's not for me. I'm focused. Let's see. You should have a TV show. I don't want one. Lots of comments on the General Mattis poster popped up. Mad Dog, you know. So, okay, first off, no, I never served. Thank you for those of you who did. General Mattis is one of my heroes. You know, even us old guys have heroes. You know, people we look up to. General Mattis is definitely one of my heroes. Another one is the guy that runs the Keno's Animal Sanctuary in New York City. You got some extra money to donate? Send it his way. Check this guy. He's amazing. You should learn about EFI. Oh, Jesus. Listen, I started as a mechanic in the 1970s. I worked on cars and still work on cars of everything up to date. I know EFI like the back of my hand. I race cars with EFI. I know all of the systems. I'm up to date on them. I choose not to have any of that in my personal life. That doesn't mean that I'm down on it. That doesn't mean that I don't understand it. Doesn't mean that I don't work on it. Doesn't mean that I don't want to learn more about it. Doesn't mean I don't want to see other people use it. It is not for me. I don't want to do anything with electronic ignition or... I like my machinery to be 100% analog. Why? Why do you say that? Because I have complete control over my machinery. If it's all analog, I can fix anything with hand tools, with my hands, with my mind, usually on the side of the road, usually on the fly. I can diagnose things. I don't need a computer to diagnose. I drive down the road, it makes a sound, I know what it's doing. It has a feeling, I know what it's doing. It misfires, I know what it's doing. That's how I like to live my life. That's why I don't have anything electronic in it. Let's see. General statements, because you know there's like a lot of unspecific questions, but they just pile in. And first, I'm a dog guy. I love dogs. We have 4 dogs. They're all girls. I like girl dogs. I love all dogs, right? But in my life, in my surroundings, I only want female things. Does that make any sense? I'm a guy. I'm an unevolved male. I want nothing but female things around me. So all of my dogs are females. And you know, that's that. Let's see. I have never had a felony conviction. No tats. No, I have no tats. I'm not going to get any tats. Why? Why? Well, because, I mean, let's just say I had to do something that required some sort of felonious activity, and I needed to like disappear into the sunset. You know, all I got to do is just shave my head, or shave my beard, cut my hair, and I can disappear into the crowd. Think about that. Let's see. The mission with Uncle Tony's Garage is, and I know this sounds lofty and it sounds a little anarchistic, but I'm an anarchist. is to take down the media establishment. I had a big part in creating what is known today as the media establishment, the magazines, the way the direction all of this went to. A lot of it evolved from what we were doing in the 1980s. And now, I want it gone. I find the entire thing to be vile. I find it to be against, it works against the common guy, it works against the grassroots guy, the people who we're talking to here. It works against you. They're just trying to sell you shit, whether you need it or not. I'm not going to try to sell you anything, whether you need it or not. Oh, so that's another thing too. I made a video saying that we were, we had passed on a deal, a parts and money deal. And I said that we're not going to take any sponsors like that. And what I mean very specifically is that I'm not going to take any manufacturer's support that would require me selling you any specific parts. That doesn't mean that we're not open to sponsorship and backing. Obviously, we'll take parts distributors, we'll take services, we'll take anything that wants to, be a part, that wants to be associated with Uncle Tony's Garage. But specifically trying to sell you guys parts or systems is a no-no. It's not going to happen. I will fight you. Let's see. Music. I was actually in the music business for a little while. I like punk, intense classics, and any band that features a loud, screeching female lead. Let's see. When I quit drag racing, we ran nitro cars, top fuelers and funny cars and fuel alters, and I used to tune and stuff like that. And I did that right up until about the 1990s. And then I went on 1987, and then I quit cold turkey. I got into the magazine business, and then I got into the coffee business. Magazine business. Did I say magazine business? I got into the motorcycle business. I did nothing but motorcycles. Yes, I'm a veteran of the Kawasaki Triple. I had more Ironhead Harleys than you could ever possibly count. And I had a thing for sport bikes. I had a 900RR, a TL 1000, a couple of Ninjas. So yeah, I did the whole bike thing. And the reason I don't do a bike now is because the third time I got hit by somebody making a left-hand turn in front of me, I kind of lost the will to ride. I am thinking about picking up another bike now, just to like tool around a little bit, and it's going to be a pussy machine. I'm talking about, I want nothing like, I want a 500cc. Actually, I'm thinking about an SV650. The perfect bike. If you're only going to have one bike and you're just going to use it occasionally, and you want something that just does everything happy and well, that's the kind of bike that I'm looking for. Nothing crazy. No, no, I'm not building any more choppers. Nothing like that. What else is there? Let's see. Oh, and when I quit drag racing, I also got into the coffee house business, and I had several of them in New York and in here in Tennessee. And I used to roast my own beans with a heat gun and a modified bread mixer, and I had the best coffee in the area. And then that was that. And what else? The best thing that ever happened to me was getting thrown out of school. I was 16. They tossed me out. I never looked back. Everything I know is self-taught through hard experience and going out there, which is what I recommend to all you young guys. We have a lot of young guys that watch this stuff. You get the message, you know where we're coming from, you're enthusiastic, that's awesome, right? Advice, right? Listen to me. Everything you want, everything that's good is outside of your comfort zone. All of the magic happens outside the comfort zone. Get out there, take risks, do stupid things, make mistakes. All of this adds up to experience. How do you think I got to where I am today? I made a lot of mistakes. I screwed a lot of stuff up. You can only learn that way. So go out. If you've got the urge, hit it. And I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all I want to do for right now. Let's leave some more, let's leave a little mystery. And then, down the road, we'll do another one of these. So that's it. And finally, I got to do a shout out to some of the guys who've helped support us since we started this endeavor. The first is our buddy Brian McTaggart from Bankshift.com, who went a long way towards spreading our videos to some of the more conventional masses out there. Thank you so much, brother. We really appreciate it. And then there's John from Chop Shop Underground, who helped us out early on. Actually, he even made a video giving us pointers and tips on how to get this channel going and really get things moving. And we really so appreciate that. Thank you so much. And last but not least is the mintiest fuck in the world. The gearhead god from the great frozen north. Zip ties and bias plies. Thank you so much, brother. Everything you've done is like just totally fucking, mint.
So let's grab our fucking opening implement here. I don't know, it's pretty dangerous. I don't think I want to use this fucking thing. I'll get a better idea. Probably doesn't have the power we need. Now we're fucking talking.
So head on over there, subscribe to his channel, buy his merch, and tell him that his fuckstick Goomba from the Deep South sent you.